And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, James Out West Special Edition Alert College Football Playoffs.
We got here.
We did.
We didn't know if it was going to happen.
Even though some conferences, Big Ten, did their damnedest to not play. They wanted to be the heroes of saving the day, and we're not going to play football this year. And then everybody else played, and you guys look like suckers.
But I think they got it right.
But that's neither here nor there. We are in. And when I say we, I'm talking about the Ohio State University, my friend.
We'll see how long that lasts.
We both know that 4 teams isn't enough.
Agreed. But
it's a tease for those that get it. It's just the tip.
Do you think?
There should be an 8-team playoff?
Did they get it right?
Yeah, they got it right. They got it right. Unfortunately, Ohio State has to play Clemson because they can't have Notre Dame, Clemson for a third time that close together. But Ohio State should every bit be not playing Clemson.
I agree. I would actually swap Notre Dame and Ohio State, but
I agree. I thought Ohio State should be the 4. I do agree Ohio State should be in, and they're in. They were in the top 4 before the season started. When everybody else was playing, they were still in the top 4. When they weren't playing, they won 1 game and moved to the 3. Everybody knows that they're a top 4 team in the nation. Let's see how they do.
And it was, if they would have, it's hard because they lost to Clemson. I mean, that was their last game. They lost, 34-10? So
can't have that back to back.
If that was close, then maybe they'd be 3. But I don't think so. So it's going to be interesting. So
to me, they got the 4 teams right.
Yeah.
We can go back and forth about the way that they're seeded. But the 1 seed is correct. Alabama is correct. The 2 seed is correct. We can flip 3 and 4. They couldn't have wrote it better for the media, for ESPNs, for the ABC college football. They couldn't have written it any better to have Ohio State playing Clemson again in the playoffs, with Clemson whooping our ass on more than 1 occasion. I've been to those.
Yes.
Live.
Yep.
Walked out 31-0. Walked out getting some. I mean,
been lucky at the Fiesta Bowl, right? That's when you
until they played Clemson.
Yeah.
Every time until then, the Notre Dame games. The Notre Dame games, according to Coach Lou Holtz.
Oh my God! Yes, that was actually not bad.
But I digress. They want this to happen. Ohio State owes them a smackdown. Will it happen? Remains to be seen.
Yeah.
You're going to be going over the first game, which is the earlier game, which is Alabama, Notre Dame.
I'm excited for tomorrow. So we got number 1 Alabama, number 4 Notre Dame. So we got Alabama 11-0, Notre Dame 10-1, just coming off a loss, right? So the Notre Dame is plus 19.5 in this game. That's a lot, but it's college football.
Anything can happen.
It happens. And the other thing that's it's surprising interesting. This is the first time since 1942 that the Rose Bowl is not being played in Pasadena. So
all because government can get out of their own way. Neither here nor there.
Texas is,
Texas is wide open.
That's
so is Florida.
Go. So it's going to be at AT&T Stadium, which Alabama is 4-0 at, which is rather interesting.
So playing into their favor.
Here's the big thing that's going to be for me is that you have 3 of the top 5 Heisman votes on Alabama, right?
Yeah.
So you have Mac Jones and Devontae Smith, who are actual Heisman finalists.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Harris, which is a stud in itself. Man, Devontae Smith is the AP Player of the Year. This kid, have you seen some of the catches he's made?
So he's going to move on to the NFL and be the next line of great Alabama receivers, a la Amari Cooper, a la Julio Jones.
Yeah, he might mess around and end up winning the Heisman.
Wow.
I mean, then you got Mac Jones, who's what? So he's thrown for 3,739 yards, 32 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Not Joe Burrow numbers, but still.
No one's ever had Joe Burrow numbers except for Joe Burrow that one season.
But still a stud. The one thing that does concern me is that they lost their center. Is it Landon Dickerson?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be an immediate show in the beginning.
Oh yeah, the blitz coming through the A gap, trying to first off, I know what I'm talking about. I've been told that is the A gap.
When you had to block for that back in those days. But if you look at it with Notre Dame, I mean, he's thrown for 2,600 yards, 15 touchdowns, and he has 2 interceptions. He's not putting up the numbers. I think Notre Dame is actually going to put up a fight, but I actually think Alabama's going to cover this. It's not even going to be much of a game, I think, past the second quarter, and I think Alabama moves on for sure.
100% a blowout.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Alabama's just, in every sense of the word, will outclass them.
Yes.
From coaching. Nothing against Brian Kelly.
Which has done an excellent job this year.
He did get a video photographer, but doesn't get in there. Their offensive line, defensive line. How many guys do they send continually to the NFL that prosper? They have the pedigree. They have all the resolve. They've got a guy that is the greatest college football coach of all time. Hands down, you can't argue Nick Saban.
Yep.
Who's also beat COVID twice this year. Not once, but twice. COVID came in. He said, I got Aflac.
And made sure he got those 3 tests within 15 minutes.
He was like, this is going to happen. Listen, I'm going to do if I have to be in the Goodyear blimp.
I absolutely see Alabama being in the 40s, and I don't see Notre Dame being more than 24.
Yeah, so I agree.
So
now anything could happen, but
Correct.
I agree. If I was to be betting on this game, I would take Alabama and the points. And the over, only because I think Alabama potentially could get the over by themselves.
Yeah, so the over-under is 49. Yeah.
They can get the over by themselves.
Yes.
They may have the over by the third quarter.
Yes, absolutely.
Woo! That would be something. Man, it's going to make for a lame game.
Oh,
good thing no one's going anywhere tomorrow. Stay home, folks. Enjoy yourselves a libation. Enjoy yourselves a nice hot tea. Maybe perhaps some corned beef and cabbage or the sauerkraut, depending on what you do for New Year's Day. Just depends.
Whatever.
There's a lot of traditions out there. But we'll be watching college football.
I like the seafood route.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Me too. Seafood, good food.
I can't go wrong with that. But so, all right.
This next game, obviously near and dear to my heart. That's why it's on the evening game, because they know that it is the Thrilla in Manila.
It's going to be
This is the clash of the Titans, so to speak.
And the 2 quarterbacks who've been pretty much talked about all year. With
being an Ohio State fan, we are inherently a nervous bunch. Okay? Yes, we've won, but we've had a lot of losses that are significant. It's not like Michigan where the losses don't matter because they stink.
Okay.
Okay? I had to get that out of there. Anyways. But the fact that...
It's not a Harbaugh fan.
The fact that... No, please stay there. Please sign a 17-year extension for $250 million so you have to stay there. Please do.
All right.
But at any rate, Ohio State owes Clemson an ass whooping. Clemson's talking a lot of smack from some players. No, listen. They feel that too because a lot of these players have been beat by them these last couple of years.
Okay.
I think it's a lot of pressure on Ohio State, and what sucks is Dabo Swinney can talk all the trash he wants because they have beat us. He holds bragging rights. Now, his bragging about keeping them out.
4-0 against you all time.
Thank you. This is what I'm getting at. But 3 are in the last 3 are in the last 4 years, though.
I just wanted
but 3 are in the last 4 years.
Okay. Start with stats.
Don't come with your stats and your logic.
Okay.
And your facts. Okay, this is 2020. Facts don't matter, Ryan. You've learned this.
I'll be more about bullshit.
Facts don't matter. Thank you. 2020.
Okay.
All right. Being said, I am nervous about it. Trevor Lawrence has lost, what, 1 game in his college career? 1 game in his high school career? He's got
34-1.
34-1.
Fields is 19-1.
Smaller sample size. I wish Ohio State would have played more games. They are not as battle tested as the Clemson Tigers. The Clemson Tigers, first off, you look at some of these guys that he's going to be throwing to, and Amari Rodgers, 69 catches, 966 yards, 7 TDs. Cornell Powell going off. You got, obviously, Travis Etienne. They have a plethora of playmakers on that team. They are well coached. They have a defensive coordinator who's a known sign stealer that was brought up in the calls. Very cavalier-like in Ryan Day to say, hey, they're very good at figuring out what people do. I don't know how he does it, but, you know, that they just have their own way of doing
smarter
things.
Than other people.
When you do that, yeah, there's That's neither here nor there. Gamesmanship, sure. Who cares?
And I'm excited because this is going to be the best quarterback matchup we've had in 15 years. Even
Per your
statistically.
stats. Yeah, statistically speaking.
So we have the highest QB record. Trevor Lawrence is 97.1, and then Fields at 95. And like I said, 19-1 and 34-1. That's amazing.
Well, I can tell you this. The eye test tells me this. Justin Fields did not show up in the Big Ten championship game. Now he was down his number one receiver, Chris Olave, who will be back. Didn't have the chemistry. They did everything they could to lose that game. Trevor Lawrence and Clemson is a well-oiled machine. This is going to have to be something where Ohio State's defense makes a tremendous play or two.
At least. Oh, yeah.
Now, remember last year now, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
They caught the ball. Dude took 4.5 steps, called his mother, got a haircut, dropped the ball. We picked it up and returned it for a touchdown, and they called it an incomplete pass.
Right.
Now, what we do have here is the Big 12 is officiating this game. Okay? The last time the Big 12 was officiated a game against Clemson, it went against Clemson. The last time Big 12 officiating crew went for Ohio State, it went in Ohio State's favor.
Now
not that they shouldn't matter.
Okay.
But it could come down to that mattering. Bottom line is swallow your whistle.
You guys are still going to lose. I like Fields, and I think he's actually going to be a beast. And I think they put him as the number 3 quarterback now, supposedly with the predictions coming out for the draft, which I think he's going to have a huge combine if they do a combine. But he's a stud. But Trevor Lawrence is better.
Let him be the 3rd quarterback and let Bill Belichick trade up and get Justin Fields.
Yeah, right.
But they're going to have a bad pick.
Belichick is not
They're going to have a bad
drafting.
pick. They're going to have a bad pick. Well, you're going to go with Cam Newton? I know we're getting off the
they're going to trade and get Garoppolo back from us.
Well, hey, that's for another show and another time, but you're probably right about that. I forgot about that. So, Justin Fields, enjoy your time in...
Indy? No. That's too far down. I have no idea.
Denver? Question mark?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
Or even the Raiders could go that way.
Hey, there you go.
Who knows? But
either way,
I think it's going to be a shootout.
So, who is your national champion?
Okay, so taking Clemson, Alabama.
Yeah.
I'm taking Clemson. I like Trevor Lawrence, man. I think it's hard to go against. Boy. It's hard to go against Alabama, but I think Clemson. The only reason they're not number 1, I think, is because Trevor Lawrence sat because he had the COVIDs.
Yeah, he had the run.
And so they didn't have like a huge run, but I think he's well rested. He's going to show up, and I believe in him. 34-1.
It's listen. When you look at his
36-1 and be the number 1 overall.
When you look at his ability of what he's been able to do at a high program like he's at, to be the guy and be 34-1.
Yeah. And he looks, if you watch him, he's so smooth and he's such a absolute pure quarterback. And then he takes his helmet off and you see this hair and it's just like, this guy.
So you're rolling with the golden pony.
But yes, I am.
Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson Tigers.
Stay golden, pony boy.
I can tell you that tomorrow, midway through the 3rd quarter, regardless of the score of the Clemson-Ohio State game,
that's going to be
I will be, bro, hold on.
2 beers, 3 beers, a shot of whiskey, a margarita, and a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
That is exactly where I am going to be.
Are you going to be like Stone Cold and drive the actual Coors truck? Like
just up to the side here?
Yeah. Just
that would be
start
awesome.
Doing the fire hose.
Awesome.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. Yes, Alabama's going to cover. Alabama's going to move on.
Okay.
Bro, I'm taking the upset. I'm taking the Ohio State Buckies to lay the smack down on Clemson's candy ass. No, I don't. I'm a prognosticator. I'm a analyst. I easily could, from my YouTube garage cave, could easily take the Clemson Tigers because, Dabo Sweeney and everything they got going, but
I still call bullshit.
No, bro. OH, baby.
I'm proud of you. Good job. because you have some balls to try and do that, but it's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see.
So you think it's going to be Ohio State, Alabama?
Okay, so here's what we're going to do on that.
Okay.
I believe in Ohio State so much, we will place a bet.
Okay.
COVID, social distance responsibly. Wings and...
To the shitty 2020.
Sure, yeah.
Let's put 20 on it.
All right.
I'd
rather put 5 on it, but that's for a whole nother discussion.
Oh, okay. Maybe the next episode.
Right.
In the new year.
You got Alabama, Clemson. You got Clemson winning. I got Alabama, Ohio State. I'm going to take my boys and the Ohio State Buckeyes to prove everybody wrong. Do I really think so? No, but 85% of me says yes. That's good enough for me. It's a B. It's good enough for me. B's are good enough for me, baby.
Get degrees. Take it.
All right, man.
Well, this was fun. It was a different show doing college, but I love it, and I think we need to follow this up and see what happens so we can.
Yeah, we'll do a follow-up show.
Definitely talk some stuff.
So you can hand over my $20 bill on camera.
We'll see.
Thank you, sir. All right, everybody enjoy.
One love.
Be safe.